All right, welcome to the Video Marketing Ninjas podcast, you guys. Whether you're listening to this via podcast or you're watching it on the Video Marketing Ninjas YouTube channel, welcome. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. With me is Mark Grasse, the president of Digital Marketer, you guys. And Mark is phenomenal leader, super visionary, and if you've not heard of Digital Marketer, you got to go and learn more about Digital Marketer. This organization is the go-to if you're a digital marketing agency owner, which a lot of you that are listening to this podcast or watching it are. So if you have not heard of them, go check them out. But Mark, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
All right. So we're just gonna get right into it, man, because you see the gambit, right? With your career before, right? And the gambit of what's happening in the world, especially with video, right? This podcast is about the video marketing. So for those that have never heard of you, right? Give the audience a little bit about who you are.
All right. So I started Digital Marketer. Actually, we started doing projects about a year ago. So prior to having the president role, I was actually doing the fractional CMO thing, and then also just a marketing agency that focused on website development and brand design. So did that for about 6 years. Prior to that, I was the basically head of content over a company called On It. They acquired my brand, which was called My Mad Methods. That was a magazine, but it was really a fitness equipment company back in California. And then that's why I'm in Austin, because they had me in that role. So built their content platform, helped them form their certifying organization,
Nice.
And then wrote a book about the process called Unconventional Marketing.
Oh,
and
okay.
then basically executed the plan that I did to grow my original brand organically until I sold it. So my whole plan when I formed my agency was to actually get people started and then train them how to do digital marketing and put them on their way. What happened was small business owners don't want to do that for the most part. So I was only successful about 5% of the time. But what made me realize was, hey, I love teaching marketing. And so digital marketer was the perfect role for me. So that's kind of quick story of how I started. But I came from a lot of content marketing and organic growth and a lot of videos originally. So
yeah. So when did you first start getting into video and like seeing the power of it in action?
Actually, it was back in like 2007 or so. Yeah, because what happened was I had a friend who learned how to use kettlebells. I don't know if people are familiar with that. A lot of people are, the balls with the handles on them.
Yep.
Anyway, it's ballistic, unusual type training. And so there wasn't a lot of videos online, and I wanted to get into e-commerce. So it kind of worked out where I'm like, hey, I'll take all the videos, I'll do the website, I'll do the e-commerce thing. You just have to do your fitness stuff and I will record it, and then we'll build a database. So it actually started with like 15-second clips of just an exercise where it's like, hey, here's how to do a swing, and here's how to do a snatch, and here's how to do, a press, and all the different exercises. Because what I found was that nobody had just a simple directory of videos where people could go and be like, I just want to see how to do it. Don't want to hear somebody talk. I don't need a lesson. Just show me it. And so that's where I started, was producing those. So we produced, I think, 1,500 videos over like a 2-3 year period. And then after that, I actually got really into graphics and layout design for magazines and all, website design. But now I realize, like, hey, videos are where I started and actually what made it successful. And so now I've came full circle and I'm back into videos.
So if you want to do like a circle back, do a video, like the difference between a cowbell and a kettlebell,
we did do that video.
There you go.
There's so much fun you could have with it too, because we used to do, like, we had a 70s show intro that we did for the gym, and we had a lot of fun just messing around. And I grew up with that. I actually started making videos when I was 7 or 8, with my dad's VHS big camcorder thing. Yeah, setting that up and doing stop animation with little army soldiers and fireworks.
I did. I worked back in television news for a while, and I remember doing the tape to tape editing, like pop it in, cue it up, get it going. And then was one year our chief our chief photojournalist came in. He's like, guys, there's this new system out there. It's called non-linear. Like, wow, that's really
No way.
cool. Now it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, you know what's funny is back then, you had your camcorder and you would, record, do something, and then you stop, and then you move to the next scene, and you record, and then you stop. And the funny thing is that actually came back. When you have like your TikTok
no, that's
videos.
true. Yeah.
And so it's like all this stuff that, seemed silly back then is now totally current, and, just get back into it,
That easy, basic, like, simple, like stop, shoot, and edit, man. Yeah. Yep.
Well, and genuine too.
Yeah.
People want to see
the
real
for sure.
stuff.
Yeah. So with businesses, right? So let's get it right into kind of like the meat and potatoes a little bit here. So what are you seeing in for digital marketing agencies? What are you seeing businesses asking for the digital marketing agencies when it comes to doing video? What are you seeing a lot of?
Well, when I had my agency, the big focus was on, hey, if you have a location, that's actually special because so many people are remote. So if they had a location and said, hey, let's go in, let's tour your facility, let's introduce you and your staff, and then let's get some drone footage of your space because that looks cool. And so that's, it's almost like it's a balance, because people don't understand that really the point of video, or how I described it, was we're trying to personalize your business.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about your fancy logo, or say you have a nice website. Like, those are all prerequisites of people doing business with you, but what they'll actually buy is you and your personality. So I always did that intro video to kind of introduce people to the concept of doing video, but then I said, hey, you're gonna have to talk to the camera more, because we need to get people to know you, even if it's not, a ton.
Yeah.
We have to get that shot. So that's kind of how I introduced the concept, and then hopefully got them on track. But most of the time you need a driver within the business, or they need to hire it out so people understand, like, hey, let's get you rolling.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I did it.
No, I think that's a great lesson too, when you're pitching businesses on the idea of adding video to like a digital marketing service offering, is, hey, we need to personalize your business. I don't think that has not changed. When you mentioned talking about video of your place, right? And having videos of people just meeting the staff, right? That's a perfect place to start super easily. So when did you see businesses do you see businesses really beginning to start leveraging, like bringing awareness to YouTube? Or do you feel like agencies or in business are still kind of like, what's YouTube?
Yeah, well, I was did a lot of website development, so I was still in the process of convincing people that they need a good website. Well, when I started my firm, it was more like that. Once 2020 hit, then it was like everybody wants a website. So that kind of get over that. But then you introduce social media, and you're like, hey, you also need to be on social media, and you also need to create videos. And everybody's like, whoa, I hate being on video. Like, that's some special thing for people to say. It's like, nobody likes it at first. So it's like, just get over that. And, if people don't know you, then they're not going to do business with you. So, and I think now it's like, even with Zoom and everything, I think people are more used to it. And so they're more open to doing it, but it's still an argument. And telling people that, no, because I actually work with a business owner, and this guy had like 20 patents on the use of magnesium. And
really? That's cool.
And he just had all the science behind it, and he had used it himself to cure so many ailments and all this kind of stuff. And he came to me, he's like, hey, I need you to be the face of the brand. And I'm like, why? Why would I? I'm not. He's like, well, because you're good looking and young and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, that doesn't mean anything. Like, I don't know anything about what you're talking about. Like, you have to be the one to do it.
Yeah.
And I think, for some people, they have to get over that you don't really need a spokesperson. You just need to spend a few minutes trying. And so
it's totally true. Like take your guy, for example, right? He may not be like super like charismatic on camera and doing all this stuff. He could be kind of, I hate to, for lack of a better word, use the word dry. Like, maybe he's a dry personality, right? But maybe a lot of people that are in that industry are kind of the same way. They're not super outgoing, right? They're very kind of straightforward. Like, even for like a CPA, you know, a CPA that's looking to do, you know, doing videos and expert videos. You don't have to be super charismatic. Just be you, because you're going to relate to people. People are going to relate to you.
On top of the fact that, you know, your competitors aren't doing that. You know,
Exactly.
90% of the time they have never done anything. And literally when people meet you, and I think this is actually a good thing to tell them, it's like when people meet you the first time and they've seen your videos, you're instantly kind of a celebrity. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
they know you, like, oh, I've seen you before. It's like, yeah, you
Yeah.
have. Buy
Yep.
my stuff.
Yeah.
So
There you go. Click here, you know.
yeah, click it. Well, yeah, now you could I'll do you a favor and sell you the thing that I'm selling. So I think if it's that's a good argument for the business owner too. Like, hey, you know, if you're once people meet you, that's going to break down all these barriers that you currently face when they've never met you before and you're trying to make a sale. So that might be another technique.
Yeah, and I love what I think either digital marketer as a whole or Ryan coined the phrase, you know, digital first. You know, people are hitting you up online, no matter if you're getting a personal referral from a networking group, they're going to look and find you online and meet you online before they could ever pick up the phone or send you an email or fill out that contact form.
Exactly. And I think when, you know, just to get started, it's just like, you don't have to make it complicated or even clever. You just have to answer questions you're already being asked. So then not only are you getting some content, but you're also answering questions that would usually take you time, right? So if somebody asks you a question on email, you'd have to write an email back, blah, blah. What if you could just put a link to a video where you've already explained this stuff? Now you're making that personal impact and you have content and it's serving a customer service function, which is operationally beneficial to your business. So it's all win, right?
Yeah. Are you seeing digital marketing agents or even use of video, of people using video to put like systems in place? Like whether it's a sales process or whether it's just a process. Are you seeing a lot of video being used in that regard as well?
You know, it just depends. I mean, a lot of people, that does take some organization and a platform to do it. And again, there's another barrier for business owners where they say like, hey, what I do is special. I don't want to share it because then my competitors will see it and they'll steal it and the blah, blah, blah. And, you know, to that, I always tell people, it's like, no, they won't. It's way too much effort to do that. So just don't worry about it. Nobody's going to find this unless you direct them to it. So just get going. Don't worry about it looking fancy. Don't worry about the platform. Just plop it on your blog or just put it into a YouTube channel. You're good to go. But yeah, it is still difficult for people to get over that hurdle of, you know, I don't want it to look bad. Like it's going to make a difference initially. I always tell people like, hey, just go to your favorite YouTube channel, search by oldest video, and then look at the original videos of your favorite content producer on YouTube. It's going to be crap. And then they did more and now it's not crap. Win. So that's you're just at the start, so don't worry about it. But yeah, I'm not seeing it too much. So I think there's still a huge opportunity for people to systematically create videos, and now you have a database that could, you know, a lot of it's evergreen. Like he'll create traffic forever if you do it right. So get started, you know.
Yep. The point is just get started, just start recording video content. So what advice would you give to a digital marketing agency that wants to get started leveraging video? What are 3 points you could give them?
Well, I'd say number one, if you really want to get serious about it, then, you know, your first batch of videos, if you want to get rocking like right off the bat, get it professional. Like don't even mess around, because a professional, you know, I had a firm that I worked with in Austin. It was called ATX Video Marketing, I think. But what they did was they go to a business for like $1,500. They'd shoot 5 videos with a bunch of B-roll, and they produce 5 kind of professional videos just to get people rolling. Because what people don't realize is that once you cross that barrier, like, hey, these guys are pro, then you can produce all the stuff, which is selfie videos. So I would say number one, you know, if you really want to get serious, get a professional. Don't spend $10,000, but spend a little bit of money to get somebody good and get some good videos. They'll make you feel good about it. It'll make, you know, the feedback will be really good. Like, oh, this looks amazing. You know, the results of it are kind of funny because people think like, oh, I didn't get 10 million hits. Like, was it worth anything? And it's like, no, if you get 10 hits,
Yeah.
it's worth something. But on top of the fact that the content that you are going to create, which is really could go viral and could get you tons of hits on a single video, is not going to be predictable. So don't stress that much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come out with a systematic plan. So number one, get a professional, produce some videos to make you feel good. Number two, start producing a lot of videos. Like, set a schedule, aim for at least one a week. Ideally one a day if you really want to get rolling. And then number three, don't stress too much about the organization and manufacturing of the content until you have at least 90 days of metrics to kind of get feedback on. I would almost say, like, if you this is to people who've never done video before, it's throwing mud at a wall. Just produce tons of stuff, and then 90 days go by. Now you start to realize, like, hey, these videos are easy to make. They get lots of feedback on them, and I like producing them. So now you have a system and a formula. Now go out and produce more. So I think that would be, if you're serious, like, that's worth it. Don't spend your money on a bunch of equipment.
No.
Just get a decent phone, and that'll do it.
Gosh, I remember in 20, like I said, in 2015 was when cell phone cameras really started getting good video quality. And then I was running my video marketing agency, and we started getting requests for people saying, hey, can we get a video testimonial from our clients to just shoot it off their smartphone to send it to you? And then you can add all the things that the music. And back then I was like, no, we want to tell the story, right? We want to add B-roll and all that kind of stuff. And mind you, it did make a really nice video, but at the same time, hey, I want to charge more so I can make it worth my while. So, but just starting off with that, getting going with that UGC content, that user generated content, I think that's a great tip. And then making those really nice evergreen videos, maybe like in a nice about us, about me video and things like that, those 5 to kind of get you going. I think that is a really good idea.
Yeah, I think it makes you feel good about the process and gives you some understanding of what it takes to produce things. But once you get people sold on your brand, then you could they'll expect more genuine content anyways. So, now you can start to get into, you don't want to have it unproduced, but for the most part, you're going to be doing quick videos and then volume. And then every so often you come out with, okay, we're doing a big piece, and now it's worth the effort, kind of thing.
And so we got YouTube covered, right? YouTube is a definite for everybody to have, right? Number 2 search engine in the world, right?
Oh,
what would you say is the next kind of social media channel you think businesses should be on and leveraging video on?
Well, if you talked to me just a couple months ago, I wouldn't give you this answer, but now I'm kind of sold on it, even though I'm not doing it myself. But I'm going to say TikTok, because I'm actually working with a big TikToker named Rachel Peterson. Check her out. She was on a podcast recently, and she just kind of sold me on it, because it's exactly what I was talking about. It's a genuine content, it's quick content, and you have all the metrics that you could ever want on that platform, and everybody's getting on it. I was one of those people where I was like, I hope this just goes away so I don't have to learn it. And now it's crossed the threshold of like, crap, I gotta learn it. So I'd say TikTok. And then
that's interesting.
And then we do, this isn't really for social exposure, but for control over your videos in terms of who could see it. I always, Vimeo Pro, you just have a lot of power there, and it's always consistent, and it's easy to manipulate and categorize and build collections and whatnot. So I'd say Vimeo Pro, if you're, the stuff that I don't put on YouTube, I put on Vimeo.
For sure. So you have that more control, and YouTube's all about that search and getting seen, for sure, because it's going to help your genuine SEO as well. So which is like, I want to kind of dive in the TikTok, man, because I'm the same way. It's kind of like, you look at it, it's like, is it just all these little dancing videos? I mean, is it about brand building? Is it a B to C platform? Like, as far as LinkedIn is more of a really much a B2B platform. Because then you got YouTube Shorts, right? Shorts are trying to punch out, TikTok. And if you're doing shorts on your YouTube channel, it's going to help grow your YouTube channel and get seen. Whereas TikTok's kind of its own little thing. They're not getting brought into like the search results on Google. So I'm definitely, I'm definitely interested. I'm going to talk to, I'm going to see if I can reach out to that Rachel and have a conversation with her. I'd love to talk like B2B application with that. So
Oh yeah. Well, I would definitely do, listen to the podcast. She was on the
I
Digital
will.
Marketer podcast.
Yeah.
And I asked her that exact question. I'm like, do I have to dance and stuff? Like that's all I understand
So I got to go like
about
this
TikTok.
and the question
Yeah,
pops
do the
up.
thing. No. And I'm like, I'm not gonna do. She's like, well, do you want to dance? I'm like, no, I don't. I will never want to dance.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I was the exact same way. But then she really systematically goes through the audience, the algorithm,
Yeah.
the way content is seen. Like one of the things she taught me was that, when you initially start on platforms, it's usually like, you know what, post whatever, people don't
Yeah.
care. Nobody's going to see it because you're brand new. But on
Yeah.
TikTok, they actually boost your views on your initial post because they
Yeah.
want you to come back and use TikTok.
Yep.
And so that's like, okay, well, now you got to get serious right off the bat, because why you don't want to waste that initial
Waste that.
post.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, but I think it's, there's a ton of users, and
That's interesting.
it's definitely a different platform, and it's new. And I think, as much as, because Facebook has stories and
Yeah.
Instagram
They're
has
they're
stories.
all coming out with the shorts now that's trying to hedge it out. So
Yeah,
yeah,
but
I
then
don't
it's
know.
like, what's new? It really depends on your target market. But
Yeah.
for us, like one of my initiatives after starting Digital Marketer is really to modernize our social media presence.
Mhm.
And TikTok's going to be a focus because I'm like, that is modern, it's new, it's different, so I'm going to tackle that first. And then we're going to derive everything else from our experience there to see what the effect is, and then hopefully teach lessons on that approach. So you'll see that in the near future. We're not on TikTok yet.
Yeah.
We're working on it.
The clock is tick-tocking.
Yeah.
Oh, dad joke.
Dad joke.
Dad
There you
joke
go.
in there.
I get it. I'm a dad.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm definitely gonna listen to that podcast. And I know like for us at Magnify, even in the Video Marketing Ninjas YouTube channel, we're gonna start doing lots of shorts. So and leveraging shorts. So I'll have to get back to you on shorts, man. YouTube shorts. So we'll see
Yeah.
how it all goes, man. So yeah, I definitely would. We could talk a little bit longer on TikTok for sure. So I'm kind of anti TikTok, but maybe you've opened my mind a little bit to the business application. So
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I think if you're going to be, especially with digital marketing, is always evolving. Like, I think it's probably the most evolutionary job you can have right now because the things change
constantly,
instantly.
yeah,
Constant change. I mean, there's the variable videos always watched, like that's a kind of mainstay, but where it's posted, how it's made, how it's produced, like all that stuff is just always changing. So I think, being flexible is just part of the job. So I was actually, I'll tell you this and you're gonna laugh, I was against podcasts originally. Oh yeah, because I was like, I just didn't understand the value of it. I didn't listen to them. I'm a big ebook, person, so I always listen to my books, and that's why I don't listen to podcasts.
yeah,
But I've always been a content producer, and so then I had a bunch of clients asking for podcasts, and I was like, yeah, you know what, it's not hard, so I'll just go ahead and do it. So I produced my own podcast, and what I realized was it was like, oh my gosh, compared to making videos and writing articles, podcasts are the easiest things you can
yeah.
do.
Well, not to mention, I mean, like this, like we're recording it, right? So we'll put it on our YouTube channel. It's gonna be repurposed in like multiple different really cool applications. So
Oh yeah, well, it's even for the short vids, for
yeah,
the stories, all that stuff is all
yeah,
just right here, and it just took talking for 30
just
minutes or
chatting.
45 minutes.
Yeah, yeah,
Done. Yeah. So
yep.
it's yeah, that's another one of my big evolutions was saying podcasts are good. So now I'm a
Yeah.
big advocate of podcasts.
Yep. Yep. There you go, man. Well, is there anything else that you want to add before we sign off?
I'd say, keep an eye on Digital Marketer. We are making some really big changes, especially to content production. And like you are on the blog now. So you're gonna
Yeah. Yeah.
see your stuff on there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're actually redoing the website. Should be up later this month in
Wow. You guys
October.
are doing a ton.
Yeah, launching new directory system. I'm a big content guy, like I said. So, I build databases of content, which are going to be just thousands of pages that interlink to each other and kind of an intuitive way, because that's where my background is. And so Yeah, and the video production, we're actually ramping up. We're about to be finished with the digital marketer studio,
Oh,
which
cool.
is in South West Austin, and basically it's a dedicated space where we're going to have the lights and video equipment and everything set
Nice.
up, so you could basically walk in, flip on a switch, and produce really high quality videos. So that's going to come out. Actually, I'm probably going to go there tomorrow to finish the build out.
Nice,
So
nice. Well, cool. Congrats on all that stuff, man.
thank you.
Well, you
So
just
yeah.
one more quick question. So, like, I think too, like, I've seen like websites now being very much more video based, even with the websites
Mhm.
now. So, what do you think? Do you think that's like a big thing you're going to see with websites now? So, you being a website kind of
Oh
guy,
yeah.
this being more video based?
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing about video is that you can just embed it wherever.
Yeah,
So, and especially on mobile, because the problem with mobile and website design is you can only do so much. You can't do a
yeah,
bunch of animations. You can't, post these big, awesome screenshots of cool pictures because they're condensed into almost nothing.
yeah,
So, the only interactive or kind of actionable stuff you can do is video. So, yeah, I was always an advocate to my clients to say, hey, let's get some video. Let's at least put it on the homepage, at least put it on the
yeah.
about page.
That bouncing, the bounce rate.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people don't realize that the second highest viewed page on your website is your about page. And it's actually has the highest bounce rate, because if you don't sell people on your about page, then you're actually going to miss out on that person. so
Yeah,
if and the best way to connect with the people on your about page is actually doing a video. They're there to learn. They click that link because they want to learn about you. And
yeah.
so instead of having them read a bunch of junk stats, all that's all good too. But if you had a video where they could connect with you, that will make the biggest impact on your brand, success with that individual person. So
And that's
yeah, shoot
another great
videos.
sales tip to if you're an agency owner, you're listening to this. That's a great way to pitch your clients. What Mark just said, putting video on that about us page, keep that retention there. So, Mark, thank you so much for being on the program, my friend. We're looking
Oh, no
forward to
problem.
all things digital marketer, guys. Like as Mark said, if you have not heard of Digital Marketer, go check it out. It is flipping awesome. Tons of just great content to learn and grow your agency. It's awesome. Go check it out. So thanks again, Mark.
No problem. Thanks for having me on.